everyone, and thank you for joining us today. This is a leadership conversation on the Voler Innovobot integration, and I'm Blythe Karo, CEO of the Karo Advisory Group and author of The Device Files, an industry publication covering all things medical device and wearables. I'm joined today by Miguel Adao,
Hi there.
Walt McClay,
Mhm.
Guy Lafon,
Hello.
and Aaron Ramsey.
Hi.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I'm so happy to be here with both Innovobot and Voler to discuss their recent integration. Mergers and acquisitions has always been an exciting time for companies, and the team really wanted to mark this in a special way. But when we first started thinking about how we wanted to use this format, we had to take a step back and really pause on how we wanted this conversation to be useful and not just feel like a repeat of the press release. So, to give you a little bit of background on how I ended up in the mix, Miguel started following my publication, and I think one of the reasons, and Miguel, correct me if I'm wrong here, that it resonates with readers is that I tried to not just give a news update, but also delve into the strategic implications of a topic for investors, startup business owners, product managers, and really think about how they can use that to cover or to think more strategically about their own business. So we took that mindset as the basis for this discussion as well. And we're going to try and evolve to getting more into the nitty gritty of what the real strategic thinking was behind this acquisition, what were both parties thinking going in, what can their respective teams and customers expect in terms of synergies and values now that they have integrated, and what does each side bring to the combined entity and where things are going from here. So I think we're going to have a really good conversation. Right. So, Miguel, can you kick us off by giving us a quick introduction to Voler and the perspective that you guys brought to this strategic move?
I joined Voler Systems 4 years ago, Blythe, and been helping Walt and team in our marketing, in our sales, and in our engagement with our various audiences. Essentially, we're a design and development firm. We focus on electronics, hardware, and firmware, primarily medical devices. And I know you work a lot in the medical devices space, classes 1, 2, 3 in the FDA, a lot of wearables, a lot of neuro, a lot of cardio, very sophisticated, highly complex devices and prototype work. And we have had a terrific trajectory, both with startups and scale ups and established Fortune 500 companies as well. And when we had the opportunity to collaborate with Innovobot out of Montreal, Canada, and they'll introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their own journeys in a second. We just felt it was a marriage made in heaven. We actually worked together for 3 years before this acquisition took place at the beginning of this month. So we can talk a little bit about that today.
Well, I think I'm just going to jump right in here already because I think what a great way to start a relationship. You probably already learned a lot. I'm sure there's still going to be some growing pains, there always are, but how nice to come to an M&A with someone you've already been working together for 3 years. So you've already really learned a lot about how to communicate with each other and maybe where things could take off from there.
By having this 3 years working together, we got to learn about the culture, and that's when we realized that we're having the same culture. So we always know culture is a very difficult thing to do M&A, but having a very compatible culture made the integrations a lot easier.
And, Guy, thank you for jumping in here because my next question was to you to give us the Innovobot side of the story and sort of where you guys started before this and why this looks so attractive.
Well, if you look historically, at least 50% of revenue of Innovobot Labs were in the US. We really needed a local presence, and we've been looking since for the last 4 years to make sure we get the right acquisition. We didn't want to make an acquisition just to have an acquisition. It had to be the right one. And as discussed, having this compatible culture, having a very complementary engineering service offering, made the decision to acquire Voler our first choice. And fortunately, with the work that we did with Miguel and Walt, we were able to complete the transaction. And today we are one company.
Like what Guy was saying around culture, it's really important for an integration acquisition. And, I think that's going to be really key for both companies coming together. Aaron, I would love to hear a little bit more about Innovobot's history and what they have brought to the table and how you see this being a really synergistic opportunity moving forward.
That's great. Well, thanks for the opportunity to talk about it, Blythe. Innovobot's focus is on innovation, and we created the labs portion of the business to focus in different technology sectors. So we have our HMI lab to really any way that a human interacts with the machine is important to us. Our robotics lab, robots are all over the place. It's a very consistent theme in the world right now, and of course, the applications of artificial intelligence. Now, pulling those all together, try to apply these innovations and get these innovations into market. And the integration and partnership with Voler is a way to help us accelerate that. Their experience, Walt's 46-year history and success in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, and California is really a great opportunity for us to apply that rigor and structure and experience to allow us to accelerate our innovations and help accelerate the innovations that Voler has as well. So it's a fantastic marriage of our two companies.
Tell me a little bit more about your innovation culture. I went back to business school and got a specialization in design thinking because I love working in the innovation space. So I'd love to hear more about your offering and how you've been helping companies with that part of what you do.
Well, that's great. Design thinking is at the core to everything and should be applied even necessarily in non-technical regions where design thinking is so much about where's the pain, where are the challenges in any interaction, whether it's person to person or person to machine or machine to machine. So our focus is on trying to identify technologies either in an early stage or an early development stage that haven't yet made it into an applied instance where it can deliver that value. So much interesting and amazing technology gets really kind of stuck. And so we see innovation as a key thing for Innovobot to grab these innovations and get them into an applied instance where they can help businesses, people, individuals, either in the med tech space or the consumer electronics, aviation, really anywhere that technology will apply.
So you've all been part of this from different angles. And Walt, I'd love to hear from you what you think people need to understand most about this moment that they maybe didn't get from the press release.
Start with, we've spent a long time becoming well known for providing electronics and firmware at a real high quality level. We're focused on customer satisfaction, doing things on time and on budget. That's what's made us successful. By combining companies, we're now bringing this electronics skill, and that's giving us other skills in robotics, AI, and human interface. These are things that our customers have wanted. We've brought in partners from time to time. And in fact, we have been using for several years Innovobot as a partner. So we've already started doing this years ago, and now we're going to do a lot more.
Voler has 4 decades now of reputation behind it. What absolutely has to remain intact on your side of the equation for this to have been the right move?
Many of us have been exposed to the M&A world, either acquiring companies or being acquired by companies. And I don't know what the percentage is, Blythe, but I imagine a big percentage fail because even if the strategy is in place, the finance is in place, other operational whatever is in place, if the culture doesn't jive, it's going to fail over time. And the cultural fit is just perfect. And I just love that folks like Guy and Aaron and the Innovobot leadership in Montreal and elsewhere that just really buy into this vision that first Walt and all of us have now created and taken to really the core essence of Voler, which is how to make the world better. And this was also something Aaron touched on, how to make people live longer, healthier lives. We were working on things on devices and solutions to help Parkinson's and neurological conditions, and even more, perhaps, quote unquote, minor conditions like sleep apnea or other wellness ailments. And so we're helping people. That's what makes us get up in the morning. We're helping people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. We're helping the environment. We're working with a lot of green technology companies, startups or established companies. We're helping industries become better at what they do to essentially help mankind. And it sounds a little bit touchy-feely, but it is a cliche that really resonates with both the Voler folks and also, about help mankind, help the planet, help the human condition.
Why this acquisition now? From your perspective, what was this unlocking, and why was the timing so appropriate?
Well, for me, it's a full client journey, right? We've got clients by expanding our offering in terms of technology. Now we're able to really solve more complex problem for our clients. Clients come to us not because they want a specific technology or specific things. They want us to solve their problem. So having the more wider expertise, a broader expertise, allow us to solve more of those problems with our clients, existing and future. As well as, again, combining those resources from those two companies allow us to fulfill the full journey from a client from development perspective, from the very early stage about conceptual design all the way to commercializations. So those are skills that both parties were missing here and there, but by combining the two resources, now we are offering a full life cycles for our clients.
I'd like to add that it aligns Innovobot and Voler together for a more global set of opportunities. Innovobot headquarters is in Montreal. We're able to establish and maintain good, strong links to Europe. There's a time zone advantage there. It's challenging to service Europe from California, but likewise, it's challenging to service Asia and build relationships from the East Coast of North America. So by having a presence on the West Coast, it's the next step in a global service offering that also allows us to continue to meet our client needs that aren't just in North America, but are in Europe and in Asia and often have a global presence.
Awesome. I really like that perspective. So, Walt, I'm a medical device girl. I know you guys have done a lot in that space, and you also do a lot in wearables. If a customer is building a complex medical device or a IoT device today, how does this new combined capability reduce their risk? And if you can walk me through a real world scenario, that would be awesome.
What's critical to reducing risk is having very capable engineers and good management so that they're doing what they should be doing. Bringing the organizations together expands that capability under one roof. So where we would bring in someone else before, now it's all in the same company. And to give you an example of what can happen when you've got this kind of an environment, we developed a heart pump, which is a class 3 medical device, the highest risk. We developed all the software. We did the verification testing. We prepared documents that were submitted to the FDA with a 510(k) application, and they approved it without any questions about software. And that is unheard of. Even on a class 2 device, the thing they were most worried about is software. But we have the experience to know exactly what's needed, and that's what we provided.
Well, that's a great example. Like that a lot. So, Guy, I also wanted to ask you, when it comes to your partner organizations, is there anything different in how you'll be engaging with them post this integration? What does the future look like on that aspect?
Well, in the very complex technology world that we live in today, the ecosystem is extremely important for the success of our clients, our partners, um, everybody that we work with. So having both Innovobot and Voler bringing together a strong partners that have been working with over the years allow us to expand our ecosystem tremendously, both geographically um, and also product offering wise. So it allows us to target more clients together, more financing, more complex project. So it just opened a lot of new doors for all of us. So I think our existing partners in the futures will have even more opportunities that you can see today.
Great. Do you have any ideas of an example of that? What kind of opportunity might be unlocked?
Well, if you think, for example, in consumer electronics, we're talking about a wellness in a chair industry, right? People spend so much time in front of their desk working. You want a chair that bring you, we've developed some technology that bring you, create blood flow in your legs and other things so that you feel better throughout the day. Well, throughout our ecosystems, we realize we can bring this technology into the airline industries, into the automotive industries. There are many other places where different partners now can join in and participate.
Very cool. I like it. Okay, so I think this has been very interesting, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Let's wrap this up with Aaron. Can you tell us a little bit about where the future is with Innovobot and where you see things going?
Well, we're really excited for the future. Thanks for asking, Blythe. At Innovobot and Voler, now an Innovobot company, we are really excited to be working together. And Guy talked about opening doors and connecting to our ecosystem. We really hope more people come walking through those doors looking to work with us. They want to share in our excitement and passion for innovation, and we can reciprocate that and help bring visions to life. So that's what the future holds in store for us is more of a combined offering and excitement and really hopefully hard challenges because if it wasn't hard anyone could do it and we're really up for the task.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We hope this has been informative and we will see you again soon.
Take care. Thanks, guys.